Good morning, everybody. It is 10 o'clock. Let's get started. So this morning, we have Todd Bush with Bush Homes with us. Before we get to Todd, they want to go over our core value today, which is core value number 10. We are a team of leaders and problem solvers, never bringing you through a problem without solutions. We are problem solvers, not problem identifiers. We encourage critical thinking and a proactive approach to handling issues. While asking for help is encouraged, it must be done in the context of also thinking of solutions on your own. Before we bring an issue or a problem to a team member, we must first think of ways to solve it. This is going to go into a lot of our market update today and things your one move this week, along with what Jamey is going to be talking about in AI for real humans. This is week 3 of that class, so Jamey is going to go over that shortly. This morning, though, we are lucky enough to have Todd Bush bring us his home-cooked food.
Yeah.
So this is not Taco Cabana, or this is not Chick-fil-A. This is really, really, really good. If you didn't try the chorizo and eggs, please do. It's amazing. Todd, this is my slide, but this is your slide.
Okay,
You are ready to go.
I got the
sir.
button to control. All right. So my name is Todd Bush. I'm with Bush Homes. We've been incorporated. Well, we got our LLC back in 2004. We moved to Texas in 2002. So I do remodels, renovation, repairs, and additions. So I'm a general contractor. I do have a plethora of different subs that I work with that work for me.
And you go with, you're in the family essentially.
So I go with what?
Chris?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Chris is my wife. Sorry.
You don't know the connection.
Yeah. So yes, she's my wife. So that's kind of why I'm here.
He goes steady with her.
Yeah. Bum uglies,
They're a
whatever,
thing.
something like that. So I do specialize in a lot of different things, but mostly in kitchens and bathrooms. I do a lot of that business in outdoor kitchens. And the reason is kind of want to segue into this to give you a background of what I've done in my life. So I was in the restaurant business for over 37 years. I don't know if you knew this or not, but my wife and I owned all the Respond Foods. We had 3 restaurants and then 2 large catering kitchens, and then a plethora of other smaller catering kitchens throughout all of Texas, through the corridor from Aubrey all the way down to San Antonio. We built our first restaurant back in 2008 in Mansfield. One of my best friends at GC did. Of course, I worked hand in hand with them. I actually designed everything because I wanted to pay the architect. So I sat down with a buddy of mine that was extremely good at AutoCAD. He and I sat over 2 weeks, designed the whole thing. Then I just sent the engineer, got his sign up on it. He actually did the architectural sign up on it too, and submitted to the city. That's how we started this. Then we built our next restaurant in Fort Worth. I saw a lot of that general contracting there. We designed it. Again, I designed it. We did another restaurant down in outside of Austin. Also, pretty much designed that hand in hand with the general contracting there, but I was running a business at the time. So it kind of segued into this through the building of the restaurants. But when we first moved here, when we left Florida back in 2002, Chris and I bought a bunch of income properties. So anyone that's on income properties know you're basically contracting out to get a lot of work done if you're not doing it yourself. Again, another background that kind of helping with what I'm doing today. And then when I was growing up, when I wasn't working in restaurants, I was working construction, bridge and grade, because I wanted to be an engineer. In fact, I didn't want to be an engineer. So I stopped that and then went to culinary school. So a little bit of background on how I am where I am today. I do like doing a lot of kitchens, a lot of outdoor spaces, living spaces like that. And the one thing is, you walk into these houses where the architect is wasn't even thinking about the layout of the kitchen. Not a lot of people do until you're in there and you're kind of walking around. Well, in a restaurant, you basically don't want to take more than 1 step for each item. So basically, I have 1-step plan. I'm going to reach down, grab some of my refrigerator, grab one of the oven, work on the range. And so when I design the kitchens, I'm bringing all the sink, the oven, the refrigerator all closer together to get it convenient for everyone. Otherwise, your refrigerator is all the way on the other side of the kitchen. You got to walk over, grab it, move it all back, and you're constantly walking back and forth. And when you're entertaining, it's just a hassle. It's not worth it. So I try to bring that into it. Outdoor kitchen's the same thing. The first thing I ask these people is, what's the purpose of having an outdoor kitchen? Do you want to just have it, or you actually use it to cook on? And what are you going to cook, and where it's going to be set up? You get a lot of people that you walk in and say, well, this is what I want, this is what I want to do. Then you start to ask them about the layout. What's the space going to be purposeful? What furniture are you going to put in? What's the point? Are you going to entertain a lot? Are you going to hang out? Are you going to use it all year round? So we actually have to think about heaters and coolers. And I've actually put a lot of HVAC systems in outdoor patios with screens. And people are like, well, that's crazy. Well, I did it in my house. I'm dropping over 2 tons of air in the back, and it's in a small square footage, and it actually cools off and heats very well. We have a lot of parties in the house in all season, either heat of the summer and the cold of winter. And it's next to living space out there.
It's like forced air.
Yeah, I'm forced air in there. I'm dropping over 3 tons of air into 32 by 18 square. Yeah, when your brother's an HVAC contractor, it's kind of cheap to do that. But I've actually done with mini splits now, and I put in over a half dozen houses. And it's actually it's great. I mean, you have an extra living space in the wintertime when it's cold. It's just I think it's great to do that. It's not cheap. But the other is you can put the gas heaters out there, but the expense you're paying to pipe the gas in, to change the size of the pipe coming to your house, or through the attic space, and then the amount the heaters cost. Sometimes it equals out to be the same. So we just got to look at that. And you know, that's why I question these things. And a lot of times when I go to these spaces, what I don't want to do is make it look like, oh, I just dropped a box onto your house and walk away. That's not the point of what I do. I want to make sure that it looks good. It looks like it was built with a house and it's up to date and has all the modern features. That's important to me. My advertising is not online. It's not with a magazine or anything like that. It's word of mouth. And that's how I get all my business. And that's very important to me. The customers are satisfied. So kind of get through some of this stuff. So again, I do additions, interiors, exterior addition, remodels, kitchen, bathrooms, patio additions, outdoor kitchen, interior renovations. So I do everything. I've done a lot of patios lately, a tremendous amount. So kind of on this picture, what you'll see is walking into here. So we walk in these older houses in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and they're segregated off. They got walls everywhere. Well, you ain't got a wall. People are like, wow, you can do that. I said, yeah, you got 2,500 square feet of living space on the second floor. We just throw a beam up there, and then I over-engineer it, make it bigger. So I can sleep at night. Sorry. That's what I do. It's like I'm pouring foundation. But oh, do we have to have a beam? Yeah, we're gonna have a beam in there because I want to sleep at night. It might cost a little bit more, and we'll upgrade the PSI that we use in the concrete because it just makes me feel more comfortable. So we do things like that, fully renovated. Other things, there's the wall being taken out, redoing the stairs. That happens a lot with the older houses, basically updating everything. And a gut kitchen on these galley kitchens. You know, we had a laundry room in the kitchen off the kitchen with the pantry. Well, no one wants a laundry room in the kitchen. So we'll put that, find a closet somewhere. We can blow out a wall where it closets back to back and find more space. And we'll put all the supply lines there and relocate the laundry room there or somewhere else so we can have all that space for the kitchen and update it. Again, with fireplaces, it's not hard to do these type of things. You guys know that. It's very simple to do, but modernize it makes it look simple. You know, people, the big thing now is having a bar. So go to space, build a bar, put a nice countertop in there. The bar's made on maple with quartzite on top. It's easy to reuse that space when your kids get older. You know, with a playroom. Take it out of the hallway, put it in a pantry. Pantry closets themselves, take everything out, make it nice and pretty. A lot of people like that nowadays. Storage a lot easier. That back cabinet there basically has all pull-outs inside of it. The simple bathroom models, this is what the client wanted from the original space. We got everything. And when we do the bathroom models, things like that in what areas, we do what most people do. Pan liner goes in, the hardy board goes down, and then we actually seal everything up completely to make sure it's completely waterproof. Putting a sliding door is not too big issue. I did that twice in the last year. And then simple remodel. Basically, we had a client that wanted, his kids are now grown and they don't have a space for themselves. He has an attic that could fit a basketball court in. So we went up there and moved the HVAC system around, a lot of the other mechanicals around, and gave him almost 1,000 square feet up there for a game room and a movie. So it's kind of nice to do that and built him a beautiful staircase going up from the hallway. Oversized fireplace. Started this project with the client. Go, well, I just want a nice little fireplace. And as we're starting to do it, he goes, well, how about a 48-inch by 48-inch fireplace? Like, as long as you promise not to fill the thing with a fire, we can do it. So we use basically the old style on this, and we did the terracotta flute on it with 2 layers of brick just to make sure, because I know the guy who did put a massive fire in it. And the footer on there is 6 feet deep, 8 by 6. It's a massive footer for all that weight. We're in Texas with the soil. Everyone knows that no matter what kind of concrete put down, it's going to crack a little bit. I just didn't want to have any issues with it. The engineer recommended doing that, so call it piers in the foundation. Another simple patio. My clients always seem to think when you're taking pictures that they always should be in the pictures. I'll just nice, simple outdoor patio that we built for him. He has screens also. We put a HVAC system in there. So, beautiful. Another one, fully enclosed from what we started. We had to rip out the whole existing patio because how it was structured. He wanted a vaulted ceiling in it. So we pulled that out, left the chimney in, put screens in there, and then the system HVAC on the side of the house. The one you see there is not where we have the HVAC. The mini split's further down to the left, but came out really nice. Oh, so what did I do? Oh, another outdoor patio, really simple to do. It doesn't take us long to do that, but it does look like it's built with a house. That's what we're trying to do.
Extension.
And that's it. So keep it nice and quick for you all. Didn't want to talk too
How
much.
small of a project?
I don't like to really go under 5,000. And that's pretty much a whole bathroom when it comes down to it. And the reason is just not worth the time to do it. I mean, something like that, you might either do yourself or get a handyman job is kind of what it comes down to. So,
Any other questions?
Yeah, Todd, when you guys are renovating, particularly on slab houses and come across galvanized plumbing, are you guys finding that if, I know some people don't want to cut open the slab because of structural integrity, but the cost of tunneling out is just, so prohibitive. Are you guys finding a preferred coating solution or a repipe or anything like that? What do you
it
guys
just
think?
depends. If there's a concern about it, we'll scope it, take a look, and then we'll make a decision at that point.
Okay.
If it's sometimes they're fine, they last, 50, 60 years, and it's cutting the slab, and it also goes with how long the client's gonna be there.
Yeah.
So we'll make recommendations, but they'll do what they want to do. So,
All right.
so that's kind of how we look at those situations. I'm always going to suggest if I feel that something down the road within 5 to 10 years after us doing something, I'm going to recommend us repair or replace it, because it's like you bring a car to auto shop, right? And you go in there and your battery's dead. Well, 2 weeks later, your transmission blows out. Well, you must have done something. No, we didn't do anything to it. Your transmission is bad. But if we see something like that, we're always going to recommend to fix it.
All right.
So, and let them know about it.
Any other questions for Todd? Can we thank him for bringing some hello breakfast? Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Enjoy breakfast. Got my cards over here. Any other questions? Please feel free to contact
Everybody
me.
grab a card and put him in your contacts group so we can.
See you later.
Thanks, Todd. Let me see, we've got Jimmy. You're up. So the clock has started. You can see the timer running, so we'll see what
I
happens.
thought we agreed to do a different picture.
Are you closing the door?
I know, I was like, what's happening?
Oh, it's serious. Well, because we were kept on talking.
And Brian always has those, riveting things to share. No, hey, just a really quick note. Hey, I've been here like 2.5 weeks.
We did not.
Spring break, yeah, we did. You
We
did.
weren't gonna come.
Yeah, I went on a spring break trip with our boys, and then I went on like a mid retreat last week. It's really good. So I feel like refreshed, Okay, hey, really quick announcement. It's pretty big. So if you see Lauren, I want you to congratulate her. We have promoted her to COO of 600 Homes.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. How that affects you guys, it really doesn't. It really doesn't mean much. There's a purpose behind that. I wanted to officially make that an official position within our org chart. Second, it clears us up to grow a little bit on the pulling outdoor and construction side. As we're hiring different people, we needed basically there's not a role in our org chart for us to expand out. Unless we just went horizontal, and we don't really need to do that because we need another level of leadership. And then third, I really wanted Lauren just to get some experience just with the broker side as well. And so she doesn't have a ton of responsibility in the broker side. Brian and I are still doing it, and then Jamey's going to step in a little bit more. But I just wanted to have more exposure on just conversations and just kind of business development for her, just as a person and where she wants to go. So it kind of a threefold effect of, I want her to develop as a person. That's where she wants to go from a career standpoint. It does free up a lot of opportunity for our construction design department to grow, different people within that department to grow, and it gives us bandwidth to expand outside. So again, if we ever, do a couple different offices or whenever we go that way, that kind of allows for construction to grow as well. So it's kind of a threefold effect, company, her, and just us, the department as well. So how that affects you guys, again, not going to affect much. She's going to be a little bit more. She might, jump into the conversations if we have anything from a strategic standpoint, just to listen and learn. So, but doesn't affect you guys that much, but it is pretty exciting. And then second is Kayla. We actually moved her to a director role. So design director instead of principal designer. And so again, no zero effect for the broker side of it, but from a org chart and then how she interacts with the team, she'll have a little more flexibility there. So both kind of exciting news. Hey, that was pretty quick.
That was good. You did
Yeah.
great, man. It was like 3 minutes. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
So,
Thank you.
all right, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Some celebrations. So yeah, there we go.
Excellent. Well, before I get into headlines, I want to introduce Billy Mullen.
Yes, sir.
Is it Mullins or Mullen?
Just one. Yeah.
Is it just one?
Yeah.
Mullen. So, Billy joining us. He wanted to see the office meeting. Jamey invited him, and we're so happy that you're here. Everybody, please say hi to Billy after the meeting.
Hello.
So next week, we're going to have Highland Homes come visit us, and then Jamey is going to be doing Culture Index. What are you planning to do on that?
Did everybody take it?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
most everybody took it.
Oh, with their colors that's on there.
We're gonna sit around and make fun of everybody.
We were reprimanded if we hadn't taken
Yeah,
it.
you have questions.
I'm accused of being, now that you outed me, I got accused of being a Kristen. Brian's like, you're a persuader, and Kristen's like, you're manipulative.
I think you said that about yourself.
Like, okay.
So what you think?
So I'll explain it more next week, but it's my favorite personality assessment tool. And we've been using it like the hiring at 6-7 months for like 8-9 years. And it's just like my brain. It's like how you work. So there's Enneagram, which I'm a fan of. It's like what motivates you. I think it's interesting. And then most of you probably take it Myers-Briggs or Strength Finder, things like that. And what's interesting about Culture Index is it shows how rare, strong, or apparent a certain trait is. So like a Myers-Briggs will say you're an INJF or you're a whatever. This will show you your attributes, but how extreme or intense or rare or not rare those are. So there's a pendulum and a spectrum for the traits. But it really just shows like how do you operate in form. It's less like personality and more just like how is your brain wired, how you work, how you show up. And it's really fun. It's fun when you see how other people work. So I think the first thing, like personally, it can kind of unlock, which most of you at this point like know, like your superpowers. Like, here is where I am uniquely gifted, uniquely wired, that's different from most people. It also generally shows like your Achilles heel. Like generally those kind of go together, your superpowers and your Achilles heel, your weaknesses. So I think that's fun, like leaning into that. And it's also like how is everyone else in the room wired? How do I work with them? How do I interact with them? How do I collaborate with them? So it's just fun. It'll be fun. It'll be like kind of interactive. I'm going to bring everybody's results and pull everybody's up and we'll throw you in the hot seat.
Yay.
The last thing I'll say about it is it's not a personality test, like a lot of them, they don't describe that. It's character traits that are developed between 8 and 12 that typically don't change. They can from intense or extreme, trauma or something like that can change them, but from 8 to 12, there are 4 different character traits or 6 different character traits that they measure, and it typically doesn't change. And so it's like 2 people might have the same exact profiles, but they act completely different. The personalities are different. They don't have the same, but obviously that's what's pretty cool about it. Is it really is the core of who you are versus how you kind of like act.
I asked Brian this last week, we were talking about it, because I don't know who it was, but we were talking about it, 'cause I think this is the 3rd time now that I've taken it since I've been here.
Yeah.
Well, one of you saying that like once you take it, it won't update like in the system or something like that? Like it won't change?
If you take it with the same email, then it doesn't. It won't change. It stays the same.
The caveat to that is when you first came on, we were on license.
Okay,
And so it would have updated if you took
the
it.
second time.
Yeah. But granted, I have like taken it over the past 8 or 9 years, like 10 times. I've tried to emails. And it's always the same.
Okay, cool. I just didn't know if, I remember us having that conversation, but I just didn't know to what degree.
Yeah, so I think when you first came out, we were under a different license. And we got a new one. So if you took it again in the past few years, it would have been different, but I guarantee your results are probably the same.
Yeah.
That was like, that's quite appropriate to me.
Because it was the same as when you were 8.
Yeah, 8 to 12. Either development was on 8 to 12, and so I've taken it probably 4 or 5 times. It's the exact same.
It's the exact, okay.
Yeah, I even know what the traits are. Like I know the test, so I mean I could theoretically manipulate it. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, I probably answered it this way 10 years ago, and now I'm going to answer it this way. And I was like, am I manipulating
Know half the
test
words.
results? And then I was like, no.
I'm like, what is this,
You're not
man?
very exacting.
No,
Holly.
I'm not exactly like Brian.
Exactly.
Jamey.
Stop.
I do.
I threw my results into
I did.
ChatGPT
You
and
did?
it's like, show me, like, based on these results, what makes me a strong real estate agent or a strong, and it like did it in layman's terms.
Was
So,
it
like, I
good?
read-
Did you feel like it was accurate?
Yes, the things I want to work on were definitely like, yeah, I do that. I need to soften that up a little bit.
So Jamie's gonna do, culture index next week, and then the week after that, we're gonna start a new class called Irreplaceable Agent. So the thinking there is that AI is coming for us, not for us generally, personally, like a weapon. It's not that, but it's going to compress a lot of how people work, because there's a lot of things that we can do. So I am developing this class right now, and you'll notice that it is IA, which is a play on AI. I'm sorry. Try to be clever, but it's about being irreplaceable. And so I have taken Culture Index, I've taken your past production, I've used all of that and put it into a system, basically an engine that is able to spit out who you are, how you work, and what can benefit you in AI.
It's kind of scary. Does it have diagnosis codes at the bottom?
Right.
Got with the prescription. Yeah.
This is,
Can I take
what we're
this
trying to
product?
give you is prompts that you can actually go and use to do different things in your business. Either you're using it as a business function or you're using it as a growth function. So that's kind of where I'm taking this class. It's about us being irreplaceable in the next 3 to 5 years. That's the point of this class.
You can also give us your medical history.
Sure.
I don't go. Mine's not documented.
Okay. I want to start reminding everybody, May the 20th is called a blood care drive here at the office. So Tasha's is heading that up. And so right now, we just the date for now, 8:30 to 12:30.
We have, they're getting.
Yeah, I just got all the marketing stuff in this morning, so I'll get it out. And then we'll put up, like a sign, oh my gosh, what is it? Sign up genius, whatever
But
it is.
it's on there only.
Yeah, well, that's link,
Yeah.
so sign up. Jamie is having a marketing piece made by Hannah, so we should have that here pretty quick. But just like, come support. If you don't give blood, bring somebody that does give blood, no pressure.
I'm not doing this year.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to remind everybody that it is property tax protest time. And so we have a special thing through Gil Denson and Company. They saved me a couple $100 last year. And once you get in their system, they do it automatically every year. So it's really cool. This is opposed to Ownwell and some of the other companies that are out there. Not against any of those companies. These people just came to us and gave us this code, savings code. So they only pay 25% of what they're actually able to save. So it's very easy. Let's go ahead and hit the market update. So buyer leverage is rising. Affordability still controls the market. Inventory is up. Prices are easing. More options, more leverage. Listings are mixed. Sellers are hesitating. Inventory is still elevated. Affordability is driving decisions. Buyers selective. Pricing and terms win. On the last week review, volatility up, but the economy is holding steady for now. Markets are reacting to the headlines. Geopolitics and oil prices are driving volatility. Rates are pressured, conditions uneven, inflation concerns keep yields elevated. Economy is still resilient. Jobs seem to be stable so far. Consumers are steady. Housing is slowly improving. But this week, all eyes are going to be on the jobs, inflation, and growth. So the jobs and the PMI reports come out this week, signaling economic momentum. The Fed's going to be watching this closely. I'm seeing numbers that they're thinking that rates are just going to kind of stay where they are for now, especially with so much geopolitical unsteadiness in the world. Stability is supporting housing, cooling inflation. There's still some things going through Congress and through the president's office about housing, so we'll see how that all plays out. Bottom line for this week, and last week, affordability is the real constraint, not rates. Agents who helps clients think creatively about budget and terms win. Pricing matters more than waiting. So rates watch. Volatility is coming from outside the U.S. The mortgage rates jumped as global tensions pushed energy prices higher. Remember, this isn't Fed driven, it's external and it's harder to predict. One thing we did see, applications dropped 10% week over week, which is not unusual with what rates did over the last 10 days. So people are like, oh, I'm not doing that. And so they pulled back. But as rates climbed, the buyer activity did pull back. The window's still open. Hesitation is rising. Remember, rates aren't predictable. Pricing and terms are. That's what gets deals done. So this is as of 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. We're actually down 0.7 of a point from last week, 0.8 of a point from last week. But we're still from March 12th of last year, and we're using that as our barometer because that was like one of the high points. I mean, some of the rates were around 7 at one point, but as of March last year, that's when we started measuring and doing the slideshow, to be honest with you. Yes, so that's how long we've been doing this particular presentation. But even the FHA is still down below 6. So it's not unreasonable. We're not like super high. That FHA, that conventional 30-year at 6.5, it's really not that bad of a rate if you just think about it. Here's Clarissa's view. This is Clarissa. And she, when I was doing some of the slides, she was like, I need to see week over week what this looks like. So this is a visual representation. If you've been on MLS and seen Market Watch. So I go out and I pull each one of these 6 major counties that we all work. These are the 6 biggest counties in our MLS.
I'm too lazy to do it.
These are, we bring all this together in this slide, and then this is the full MLS. So what we pay attention to are, and everybody has different things because it depends on what your client is really working on or what you're working on with your clients. So what we're kind of measuring is the number of new listings and the price decreases versus what we see in the pendings and close. This is a 7-day view of these individual counties, 6 counties combined, and along with the MLS.
First time Wise County's been that flip flop in like a month.
With the price decreases over
The
the new
price
listings.
decreases in Parker County.
Now, but you got to remember, all of the national media is saying April the 12th through the 18th is the week that everybody is supposed to be on the market. That's supposed to be the prime. That's when you make more money.
Do you feel like, only because I have a buyer that is super frustrated because there is no inventory for what they want.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Justin, Hazlitt, Boyd, Rome, Newark, not Azle, but Aledo.
Yeah.
Not Springtown,
But maybe Weatherford.
but maybe, yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So anyways, but, you know, and we're like fixing to close on his house and,
He needs
there's
waste.
just nothing.
Well, and I think it should pick up some. This is our barometer. This is what we're going to watch every week because we will all see these numbers change just like you did. You're paying attention to that one slide, and that's fantastic because that's the market that you're in and that you're paying attention to. I usually watch Tarrant because I'm watching it as a whole. I want to know how many new houses do we have on the market? 625. The other thing I want to know is builders. We'll get there in a minute. So here's the local market update. So months of supply is hitting a 4.7 months of inventory for new build, 3.8 for resale. If you guys remember, that was down at one point during pandemic, we were down to about 28 days for inventory. So now we're approaching the 3.8, the 4.7. What's a balanced market? 5 to 7 months of inventory. 6 months being the dead solid perfect center, but 5 to 7 months is considered either a buyer's market or a seller's market, depending on what we're seeing there. Seller incentives are rising. I'm sorry, let me go back up here. After years of shortage, inventory is giving buyers real selection, negotiating room. Nearly 30,000 homes are active, but this isn't a flood, it's rebalancing. It's very important that we keep that in mind and say those words to our buyers. Seller incentives are rising. Concessions are the new negotiation tool. We've been talking about this for 3 weeks. Sellers are facing longer times and offering closing cost credits, buy downs, repair coverage instead of cutting prices. Smart agents are positioning these as leverage points. Can't compete on price, but we can structure the deal better. Buyers are shifting power. Price points are holding steady, not collapsing. They're flattening. The power dynamic is decisively with buyers now. Expect flat to slight decline pricing in many submarkets in 26. This is a new floor, not a crash.
Your last sentence here on the 3rd bullet point, is that this, what do you mean by rebalancing?
It's rebalancing, yes. It's not a crash. It's where Market is not crashing. We're not seeing, nobody's racing for the bottom at this point. But price cuts are the thing. I mean, if you've got a house sitting on the market 30, 60, 90 days, you're cutting prices. But that's rebalancing. That's not necessarily a, oh my gosh, I have to drop this price by $100,000 to get it sold. Inventory creates choice, and the incentives create leverage. Your move, structure the deal around what sellers and builders can contribute, not just the list price. Here's our local builder update. Inventory homes are winning, quick move-ins are the best deals. Builders are pushing standing inventory with 5 to 15,000 in closing costs, plus design upgrades. This isn't just rate buy downs. They're competing on terms to move homes fast. And I meant to say this to you when we were talking before the meeting. If you want to know what a neighborhood or micro market is doing, look at what the builders are doing. That's where you need to be focusing. Hey, this is what they're doing to get buyers. What do we need to do based off what they're doing? And you can literally put that prompt into ChatGPT or any AI, and it can give you ideas. And I'll be glad to run that with you. The Westernplex builders are hunting qualified buyers. Tarrant, Parker, Wise, Johnson counties. That's where builder competition is thickest right now. Tarrant hovering at 3.5 to 4 months, and new construction under 300K in Weatherford. Builders are more flexible on terms than they've been in 18 months. The bottom line, builders in the Western Corridor are hungry. It's not weakness, that's leverage for agents who know how to use it. Here is the week over week market watch for the builders. You'll notice that this week we only had 80 in Tarrant County come on the market. Last week it was 40, so that's almost double the new homes coming on the market this week for builders. But you'll look at their pendings, they had 100 this week, 109 last week, so they're seeing steady absorption on their listings.
Take into consideration when a builder puts a house on the market that's not even close to be ready.
Yes, in every listing that is out there. So
So
this,
that might, I just think that when they put something out and they say, we'll be ready in November completion. Yeah, October, November completion, it's a little skewed on days on market.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So I would just keep that in mind too.
Back up 2 slides because I want us to keep, there's a lot of talk right now going on in the market, in the industry about the coming soons, about the preview listings in Zillow and everything that's happening. I want us to keep a watch on this bottom yellow line here as we go. This is not something that we're dealing with right this instant, but it is something we're going to have to pay attention to. And as the litigation starts, because there's about to be a bunch of litigation about this, but I just want us to keep a hold on, an eye on that coming soon, that very bottom metric there, because those are the things that are going to be changing for our industry.
I thought Zillow won that.
I'm sorry?
The litigation on coming soon, exclusive. I thought Zillow.
Yeah, well, no, there's going to be a lot more coming on this.
Cool.
There will be a lot more. Yes, go ahead.
You're talking about the builder inventory. Are you finding that through desperation, builders are leveraging the MLS more and going in?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Really?
I haven't seen it like in a massive amount yet.
Okay, 'cause I'm seeing more and more, I mean, back in the pandemic, I mean, builders were off of MLS. Now I'm starting to see more and more agents pick up those spec homes and advertise them.
Or you just see them come out, 6 listings in the same neighborhood. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
They would just grab them in by
It depends on the builder. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I think it's something that's coming, but it's one of these things that we're just trying to watch the market on a weekly basis. We get to look at it together one time a week. I'm sure everybody's looking at it on their own in their own markets and micro markets every day, but we have to do something to make sure that we all are on the same page thinking about it so that we can go into our personal lives and do these things. So, but you'll see that the Tarrant County builders, last week there were 2 coming soons. This week there are 2 coming soons. The whole MLS, there's only 29 this week, but that's more than it was last week at 18. Just a metric. It's small, but it's something we want to watch. Keep track.
Yeah.
All right. So say it like this week. Say it like this week. Inventory homes are your best deal right now. Builders are stacked with them. Redirects buyers to where real value is, explains why builders are competing hard. Now, and it depends on the micro market. So in Talon Hills, they may not be doing everything that they're doing in Aledo or Weatherford.
Right.
because it's further in. So there's all those things that you have to take into consideration. Carrot and Partners, where builders compete the hardest, your leverage lives there. So geographic hunting ground shows agents where problem solving actually works this week. Structure the deal around incentives, not list price. Again, using the agent playbook, the actual move they should make. So restructuring deals around incentives. So this week's move, leverage conversation. Text or call 3 past clients. Hey, quick update. Builders and sellers are negotiating a lot more right now. The numbers made sense. Would you want me to show you what that could look like for you? Just having these conversations. You're listening for payment concerns, and you move them from waiting to exploring. The why, most clients aren't saying no, they just don't see the opportunity yet. Your job is to show them where leverage exists. So what's working right now, we've talked about this once already, lead with payment, not price. Buyers aren't reacting to price drops, they're reacting to better monthly payments. Rate buydowns and incentives are converting conversations into decisions. We're going to position builders as an opportunity, show the quick move-in homes and incentives, look at your rates, reconnect past clients, agents having 3 to 5 conversations per week or creating deals. Hotline isn't empty, it's just untouched. Here's your business tip of the week. Stop trying to close, start diagnosing. Most deals don't fail from effort, they fail because the real problem wasn't or can't be identified, but they can be identified. It's one of these 4 things: price, payment, condition, or timing. If you can name it, you can solve it.
And if you can't name it, it's the price.
There you go. That's it. If you're looking for the Patsy on the radio, you're probably it.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me. Homes have now posted more than 20 consecutive weeks of year-over-year price declines, a trend that is gradually improving affordability, helping bring more buyers back into the market. It would fully if we can get rates to where people and economic and geopolitical and if the whole thing was good, we would have people moving into the market. But this isn't a waiting market. This is a working market. That's important. You ready? Good. Okay. You mean to move my computer down there so you can have a whole bench?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. I'm gonna leave it plugged up because that way everybody can still see your stuff. Okay, so let me stop presenting and let you start presenting. Whoop, didn't mean to do that.
Thank you.
Guys, I don't know where that went. Sorry, give me just a second. I'm trying to find it. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll do that.
That's what. Team in my hometown, we used to do WRs with EXP, which is like no man's land.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is like a good happy medium between all their stuff and everything. Well, mine was just like,
Don't worry, they're clone.
yeah. The AI robot replaced us all. She'll be great. It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm sorry, I don't know where that went. Oh, there it is. Okay, you took it. Okay.
I bumped you.
Oh, thank you. I was like, I'm freaking out down here trying to figure out what happened. Okay, so you've got it, and we're still in the call. Perfect. And thank you, Jim.
These investors, they drive me. And it's so funny when we went to a rodeo, I guess it was in January, if I remember whenever it was. I was with some girls from, I think they were from the action agency, and they were all like, what do you need to sell it financing? I was like, I'll never do it, never have, never will. And they're like, what? What do you mean? I mean, and it was like, Kristen and I were like, no, what do you mean? What do you mean you're doing a bunch of seller financing? Like, what are we talking about? What's going on? And so now I'm like, is this a thing? And I just don't know.
Well, it's the investors. Like, I'm going to give you this, and then they want you to carry your. It's basically they want to assume your loan,
Right.
Carry your notes.
Right, which is what I think when I do that.
Yeah. Well, I think seller financing that somebody's putting up the money and you're paying them the interest. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus assuming loan. So that's what these investors are
Only
saying.
like if you can't get a loan, if you have bad credit, it's
Yeah.
not some financing.
Well, it's an increasing trend too amongst investors as well, because it allows them, like, people who have some kind of rental, it allows them to be a landlord without having to pay.
Yeah.
Right, so, and get a cash deposit.
Yeah. Crazy. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna wrangle us back in.
Okay.
So was everybody there the last one I did?
Well, it was just me and Andrew.
Jamie, but this one's online.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't record it, remember?
I know I didn't. Okay, so one of the things we talked about last week was I've done two of these. The first one was all about talking to it. Patty, you said you've been doing that, which is great. It's like using the dictation tool. Don't type. It's just getting in, and I showed you like how I prompt stuff. I think it's less in the early days of AI. It was all about coming up with a magic prompt. Now I think it's just hitting the dictation button and just talking and brain dumping and just kind of like getting your thoughts out loud. And then last time, I keep wanting to say last week, I showed you essentially how to make your own AI persona. Did anybody actually make one of those? Make an AI persona? The whole point was like, take your bio, throw it on there, then open it up and say, I'm making an AI persona, interview me, ask me questions. You basically just brain dump and dictate everything about you. Here's who I am, here's what I grew up, here's what I studied, here's my dog, here's my kids, here's what I do in real estate, here's what I like, here's what and so the whole point was to essentially make this giant document that has a bunch of information about you. Like AI starts summarizing it, like, so if you haven't done that, I still highly recommend doing it. This is mine. You can see it's like 31 pages, and it's just me like brain dumping. Ask me a question, it summarizes it, I throw it on here. So anytime, what we're gonna talk about today is making projects and custom GPTs. So anytime I'm making something that's supposed to be Jamey, it's supposed to be me, whether that's a social media tool or an email tool or whatever it is. Questions?
Sorry, what platform are you using right now?
This is just a Google Doc.
Yeah, but who made it?
ChatGPT.
Okay, great.
So essentially what you would do.
Everybody's talking about Claude the last 8 days. I didn't know
So
who
we're
was in charge.
So we're gonna talk about Claude. I'm gonna go into Claude right now. But essentially what I did was I hit this button and I said, I am making a big old AI persona doc. I want to use this to help make custom GPT as a project, like a document where you know and understand me. So can you interview me and we'll do like one question at a time, ask about my family, my job, my skills, my background, things I like, things I don't like. I just want to make a really helpful and beneficial AI persona doc. So I just sort of ran that. So it hit spinning, it's working. Doc.
That's what we had to do to get the 31 pages like you.
Yeah, so then
Why do you make me talk to you?
you can make it talk, but the talk when you use the actual talk feature,
Yes.
it's dumber.
Yeah.
It's like not
It's
as smart. Like it doesn't give you as good of output. So what has been your favorite?
Wait, you said when you talk to it, it does not?
When you use this
It
button,
talks to you.
hey ChatGPT, tell me what's going on.
Oh, when
When you do that, the output is not as good. That can be like helpful when you're like in your car and you want to talk to it, but like I don't use that very much. I just use this.
Oh, you mean the ambient noise.
Well, it's just dumber.
Oh.
If that make like it has a voice that's like Siri but way smarter. I don't use that very much. If I can, unless I'm in my car or unless my kids are doing it, my kids like to talk to it. But I use this microphone. So the session last week was essentially taking your bio, throwing it in there, and then I told everyone like spend like 30 minutes to an hour and a half just having it interview you, and every time I ask you a question, hit the dictation button, don't
Okay,
type,
I see.
give it, and then throw that answer in a Google Doc. So this,
It's giving you the questions that you then are gonna answer.
yeah, say I'm making a persona
Okay.
document. So you can see on this like personal details and core values, business and leadership, philosophy, communication style, content and marketing, strategic decisions. It's asking me all sorts of stuff. And this is all over the place. It's literally.
It's just responding directly to what you're giving it.
Yeah, and this is just like this 31-page document is not very organized. It's just a brain dump of stuff about me.
Okay.
So if I'm making any sort of thing, I now have this tool to put it. So one of the first things I wanted everyone to do is if you have that doc, there's a thing down here. I don't think I showed you this last. I think I might have showed it to you. But if you click in your ChatGPT, so right now in ChatGPT, I jump to Claude land here. You click down here at the bottom, and you click personalization. there's this whole section where you can put about you, your occupation, custom instructions. So what I would do with this, if you have a bio or if you have a persona doc, is you could hit a new chat and you could say, I want to fill out the personalization section of my ChatGPT. I'm going to upload my persona doc and my bio. Can you tell me what I should put in for the about me section? Can you tell me what I should put in for the custom settings section? Can you help me fill that out? Please know the character limits of what that needs to look like. So I put that prompt in, and I'm going to take my bio, right there. I'm going to take my persona, and I'll throw it right there. Boom. Send. All right, this is exactly the kind of thing worth getting right. Blah, 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 blah. I'll give you two things about me. Use this. So anyways, the cool thing about having the persona doc is I can just drop it in there without having to give it much context. So once you have the persona doc saved, I promise you will use it over and over. And so now I would take this, it just told me what to put there, and I would click this little button and click personalization, and I can copy and paste this stuff. So pretty much anything I'm doing in AI, I'm using AI to also help build. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
Do you have, sorry, and I know this is a good refresher for last week. Do you have a map or a step-by-step of this? So like if we wanted to get together and do a working session.
yeah, I can, I'll send you, don't let me forget. I think I might have said it last time.
I'm maybe more than.
But I have the deck I showed last week, I'll send you that. And it kind of walks you through how to do that. Also, if you're like, hey, we want to do this together, but we feel overwhelmed, Jamey, can we send us room to do it?
Yeah.
Happy to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Be
That's
there.
what we're doing.
But lowest hanging fruit for ChatGPT is fill out the personalization. Once you do that, and now it knows who you are. Like now it knows a little bit more who you are. And if you have this persona doc, go to like the first dominoes. So I'm gonna go back to my little deck. Where's my deck?
So I need 2 to 3 hours to do the persona chat.
Yeah.
Without me and
Yeah.
review questions.
And if you can walk away with a 10-page document, a 20-page document, 30-page document, and just put like, mine literally is like, here's where I live, here's like French bulldog, here's, where I grew up. Like, I'm just brain dumping a lot of stuff in it because it's helpful context.
So mine's gonna be like, she likes sitting on her back patio, watching the snakes
Yeah.
and the.
Me and my husband used to do this. My husband is a builder, like, all that stuff. You just want it on paper because so part of the thing is like AI isn't magic, it's patterns. And if you heard the phrase LLM, like all of this stuff it's a large language model. So they basically took all of this written information and uploaded. That's why they need all these data centers, because they've uploaded all this stuff that it's searching from. And so the idea that we're trying to do is essentially build our own little LLMs, our own language models. So the first thing is updating your. This is what I just showed y'all. Updating your ChatGPT. Okay, I'm gonna ditch my slideshow. I'll send you the slideshow because it explains it. I'm just gonna jump into some stuff. So there's two things in ChatGPT and in Claude. Again, we'll talk about Claude here in a second. But ChatGPT is I think is the easiest, it's the easiest, quickest one to use. I like Claude a little bit better, which I'll talk about, but ChatGPT is that's the easiest. That's where you should probably live. And there's two things that you can make. The first thing you can make is a custom GPT. Think of that as like a really specific, technical, it does one task and can do it really, really well. And you can also make what's called a project. So a custom GPT, you can see all of these right here. These are all like custom GPTs I've built. This is my website wireframe builder. This is my 670 homes portfolio builder. We have a new project and I need to get it on our website. I click on this, takes me here. So I've built this and I'll show you how I built this and what this looks like. And I'll say something like, we have a new project that we just finished in Westcliff. Help me add it to the portfolio.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a project and a custom GPT?
I'm gonna show you that in just a second. Okay, I'll get there. That's great. That's a great question. But I want to show you what this custom GPT is because I think it'll help out. So we have new project and just finished. What's Cliff? Tell me how to report. So this is a tool that I have trained to essentially do one task. So the difference between a GPT and a project is that GPTs are great for one really specific thing. Where a project is great for like doing a handful of different things. It's where you can upload a bunch of documents and it knows you or knows a thing. So what you find with ChatGPT, if you say, ChatGPT, in the same chat, you're like, I'm planning a trip. Can you help me research where to stay in Austin? And I need to update my real estate listing. If you give it like two different things, it starts getting dumb. So the beauty of a custom GPT is you can train it. You can just say, give it instructions, give it a library to look from and reference, and just teach it to do one simple thing. And it will do that one simple thing really, really well. Whereas if you just kind of ask ChatGPT to do a bunch of different steps, like if you say, hey, I want to make a website, in order to make a website, you need the language, the words, like there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. So a custom GPT would be very like, help me make the words wireframe. And you can make another one that's like, think through the SEO or the SEO implications. So I want a custom GPT is where I go to make single tasks. So for instance, this whole job is all about getting stuff on our 6th Avenue Commercial portfolio. So I trained it. So in the instructions, I had to say, ask these specific questions. Can you tell me a little bit about this project and what's good? So it's doing a specific thing.
But you've already told it that. So when I tell you that I have a new project, these are the things that you need to ask me, or?
Yeah. So it knows as soon as I come on here and say I have a new project, it's gonna start asking me questions. And it'll ask me probably like 5 or 6 questions. So I'm gonna have Lauren. I just shared it with her and said, Lauren, go in here and tell it all the stuff we did on this project. But here's another example. This is Jamey's social media GPT. So this GPT, its sole job is to help me write Facebook and Instagram posts from me in my voice. Does that make sense?
So I think like for me, my infantile stage, right, is I go in there and say, new listing, I need to post this on social media, and I have all this history, right, of these different things. Where you're saying is, these are my new listings. This is in my voice, my personality, my everything. I'll always click that, and then my listing.
Yeah. So if you so
instead of it, it's like broken up. It's like
because if you just hit new chat and say I have a listing, it's gonna kind of default to whatever it thinks is right.
Okay.
And so, but if you have what I want you to start thinking about are what are the things I do a lot. I do a lot in a row. And so, for instance, it could be writing a listing description. It could be, I'm going to show you one here in a second that like, I currently have a listing and I'm wanting to give like weekly updates to the sellers. And so I have built a GPT, and I'll show you how it works here in a second. I've built a clock that essentially like, I go take screenshots of MLS, I take screenshots of showing time, I take screenshots of our feedback, and I put it in there and it makes this really badass report, which I'll show you in a second. But I want to yeah. So it's
going to replace the one that Brian taught us how to do.
So I basically took Brian's thing, I took his thing,
and made it yours.
And I made it a GPT that will build that.
Yes.
Okay,
cool. Because that takes a lot, and I love what I do. What Brian taught us how to do. It takes time to do, not.
So I want to show you this. So this is my personal social media GPT. So I'm going to click on select the edit GPT. So in this, I named it, I have a description, and then I have all these instructions. I'm not going to read you these instructions.
So is that a template that chat provides you or you built?
So this is for like if you come back over here and you click click this button, Explore GPTs, and you can click Create.
Okay.
And then it has all this in here.
So it is a template.
So I want to go back to my Jamey social GPT. And I know this feels overwhelming, but just hang.
It is.
I love it.
I do love it.
Does this have to be on a desktop, or can you do this on your phone too, or do you have to be on a desktop to create this?
You have to be on a desktop.
Okay.
Actually, that one. So So here's, so there's instructions. So if we go back to make a GPT, 4 GPTs, create a GPT, there's all this stuff in. So let me open up. Okay, so I now have 2 ChatGPT windows open, right? I have this one where we can make a new GPT, and then I have this one open that's just another. So I currently have 2 of those. So what I want to do, again, I want to use AI to make my AI stuff, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my AI persona, and I'm going to upload it there. I'm going to take my bio. I just have like a little like normal bio. I'm going to throw it there. And here's the other thing I have is this is, I made a Google Doc where I just copied like 50 of my favorite Facebook posts that I've ever written. So I went into my Facebook. And again, this might not be as relevant to you if you don't have a lot of social media. Think of this like if I'm doing listings, if you're like, this is a listing, I crushed this listing description back in 2021. Like if you would go take, here's 15 of my favorite listing descriptions, and you would just throw them on a Google Doc. Or you take Brian's, emails that he sends to update his clients, his listing clients. Here's the report, here's what it looks like. You just want to feed it information of things that you do. So another thing that like I remember is like super tedious as an agent is you get an inspection. Here's this giant 40-page document. Now I have to like calm my client down, and I gotta like speak into all of these. So I, have a bunch of emails of like where I've gone through the report, and I'm like, it's the foundation. I don't think it's something to worry about. This is the roof. Here's my thoughts on that. This probably costs X. Here's my responses about inspection stuff. So if I was making an inspection response GPT, which you probably could and should do, you basically go in your old email history and put, how did I respond to that? And throw it all on a Google Doc. Does that make sense? So anything you're doing a whole lot, copy it.
So you're building insight.
Yeah. So for this one, I just put my persona here, my bio here, and now I'm going to also throw in my writing examples. And so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use AI to make the AI. I am making a custom GPT that's a social media writer that's trained in my voice. I'm attaching 3 different documents. The first is an AI persona document. That's just a brain dump where AI interviewed me a bunch of information about me. I'm attaching my bio. And then I'm attaching my writing examples. These are actual Facebook posts that I have done that I threw on a Google Doc that are some of my favorite posts. And I want you to mimic this. I want it to sound like me. I want it to know me. I want it to default to the style of writing. Don't invent stuff. And basically what I want this GPT to do is anytime I click on it, I can just kind of brain dump and dictate a story or a post or a thing I'm thinking about or thing I'm exploring. And you'll write a post for me in my voice. So I'm building a custom GPT to do that. I need you to act like a great custom GPT builder and help me write those instructions. Please know there are character limits with instructions, so I need you to know those and act like an expert. So can you help me make the best custom GPT that's Jamey's social media writer that you can possibly make? Just jumping into it. Do transcribing my voice. Also, I will say, so I'm currently doing this in the web version. The desktop version, the dictation tool is a little bit better. So, see what it says.
So it sounds like, Jamey, you're making sure that you explain everything to the GPT so that it removes the need for it to make any inferences about the document you've uploaded and your intentions and what exactly you want the output.
Yeah, and so you talk to it like it's a 3-year-old. Yeah. So over-explain, over-index. And sometimes I'll like pause. I'm like thinking about what I'm saying. And that's okay. Like it does when you're using a dictation tool, like just don't overthink it. Just kind of pause and like think about it. I'll be like asking questions. So look, it's doing some research now. It's working behind the scenes. So here's the thing also, I also have a custom GPT, 13 a little bit, that's whole job is to write custom GPT instructions. So anything that you do repeatedly, you should make a custom GPT for or a project for.
So I guess I'm still confused about the difference between a custom GPT and a custom project. So like, if we all get new listings, so if we want to have something that we're going back to over and over again for every time we get a new listings, we want to announce it's coming soon. We want to announce the new listing. We want to announce the open house. We want to, price reduction, all of that. Is that going to be in a project or in a?
So think of a GPT as like a really sharp surgical knife that does one thing, does like one thing only. And then think of a project as like a bigger picture repository. So if you just want like, I don't want to go through the work of making like an MLS field uploader deal where it tells me what to put in, and I don't want to make an individual like listing description maker. You could just make a listings project where you have a bunch of that stuff in there. It's just the projects are not as specific and as sharp as a custom GPT, but a project you can store a lot more stuff. So I have like, so you could have like Clarissa's real estate project where you put in your persona, your bio, you put in a bunch of listing examples, you put in like your current MLS stuff, and you can just house a bunch of stuff and it's going to search all of that. It just knows that stuff.
But you can also have subfolders in a project too, right?
Yeah.
So projects have.
It just depends on what you're doing. Like if I have a specific thing like a listing writer, like for instance, I have a 6-7 homes project with lots of stuff in it. But I also have a specific 6-7 homes email newsletter.
Yeah.
It's a custom GPT.
Oh, okay, but it's not a. What do your projects have? What's in a project?
So a project for me would just be like 6-7 homes.
I mean,
So if I just have like a general 6-7 homes thing I'm working on, I would do that in a project. But I have a specific thing I'm doing a lot, like email newsletters, blogs, or uploading creating a portfolio page on our website. That's when I want a custom GPT. So you can make a project. I'll show you how to make a project in a second and what I would use it. So it just gave me all this stuff. So here's the instructions. Use this as your main GPT instructions. Add this as short builder note supplements. Well, I'm not going to read all this. One of the things I always do with ChatGPT and with AI is I say, great, thanks for doing this. Can you go back there and just make sure this is as good as it could possibly be? Make it better. Use as much of the character limits as I can. Just make sure it sounds like me. Anytime it gives me something, I'm going to ask it to go check itself.
are you sure?
Because you're AI and you still make mistakes.
Oh,
So if you make a custom listing GPT, and you upload all of this information, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street, and you plug it in and say, I'm a new listing, 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever. You put it in there. It's going to see everything that you've ever done and go, okay, here's your new listing description.
It'll see everything you've trained it on.
To do.
Yeah,
And then,
because if I
and
go
that's
back,
where you would put all of that information versus into a project.
yeah. So if I'm doing a specific thing, so here I'm going to go in and I'm going to upload into the custom GPT. I'm going to put in my.
you're doing a custom.
Because you could even, once you enter in your MLS, you could pull that PDF down and say, here's my new listing that maybe it's in your incoming or whatever. Like print it as a PDF and say, this is my new listing. Take this information and give me my listing description. Highlight schools, highlight parks, highlight trees, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's going to go back and see everything you've done and speak to that.
And that's where you put it in this upload
That makes
button.
sense.
So see this upload button? So again, it's a large language model. I'm giving it its own language to pull. And so I just have, so right over here, it says copy and paste these into the instructions. I copy this. I'm going to read it, proofread it, make sure it's good. And I'm going to come over here in the instructions. I'm going to hit P, put all that in there. And then I'm going to go upload that stuff. I would upload my persona, my Facebook examples, etc. Does that make sense?
In the knowledge.
In the knowledge base. So going back to projects, so projects, just think of it like that's a bigger thing where you can just put a lot of stuff. So if I wanted to make a 6-7 So this is a 670 homes project, and in it, so if I go into configure project settings.
So really, custom GPT is a contract with you because that's all this is,
Could be a contract with, yeah, in its specific custom
not
GPT.
necessarily a project.
So this is a 670 homes project, and in this, I uploaded our roadmap, which is our language. I have a copy of our website wireframe. I have some of our social posts. I have a bunch of different stuff in here. So if I want to ask it a specific, like just a general 670 homes question, I would do it here. But a custom GPT, so for all of your like real estate agent stuff, you can make a real estate agent project. If you're really into like recipes and you just want to like save your recipes, you can make a recipe project. If you want to, have, Jimmy was talking yesterday about how he's been using ChatGPT to have lessons, teach lessons to his kids, like dialogues with it. You can make a project that's just like my kids, and you can put like information about them in there. Here's some examples of lessons I've taught them. Does that make sense?
Yes. Sort of. So let's try a new subject, new topic, open houses. Where would you put, if you wanted to have an open house 101, would you make that into a project that's
In terms of like
involved?
promoting open houses,
Promoting
or
open
what would you do with open house?
Maybe it's, I don't know, promoting, best days to have an open house. I don't know if it can even see that. Like,
If I was just asking questions about open house, I'd probably do it just in a normal new chat. But if I'm like, I want to make a tool that will make,
it maybe gives me all my documents. I'm gonna host an open house at 123 Main Street.
Yeah.
All these things create.
I would make a custom GPT.
You would make a custom.
Anything specific, I would
Okay, because
make.
that's laser focused on.
It's laser focused. So the thing is, like, the reason I have so many is every time I identify like a new thing I do a lot, I will go in and I'll make a custom GPT for it. And the beauty of a custom GPT is like you give it really thorough instructions, and then you also give it a reference library. Reference library is where it's critical. Okay, I want to show you something I built in Claude.
Claude free or no?
Claude, there's free versions of
There's
free versions of both.
But what are you using?
I was using ChatGPT way more the past year and a half, and kind of switched to Claude. I'll show you why. And Claude has a thing called projects that's a hybrid of a custom GPT and a project together.
Oh, I don't know.
And so I would say, like, you can get a $20
I'm literally trying to log in.
you can get a $20 custom like ChatGPT subscription, and you will use it.
So do you find Claude more?
I will log in. Can you have my credit card information, please?
Like a quality better based, because you've worked chat a lot.
I think Claude's output is now a lot better. So check this out. This is a project that I made in Claude. So this is Claude's interface, similar, and I made a project that's called Seller Listing Updates. We should see the details. Actually, here's the files I have uploaded
On that same thing.
on this thing, and then here's the instructions. I have these long instructions about if I have a listing, I'm going to go in and screenshot some stuff from Broker Bay. I'm going to screenshot some stuff from MLS, and I want to just give a weekly update, to my seller.
And this is just to update your seller?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went ahead and downloaded some of these things. I'm going to show you what I went on Broker Bay, and my listing's in 76107. So I went into the little thing and I said, show me the trends for 76107. And I took this screenshot. And then this next image this is also, I think, from Broker Bay. It just shows like the amount of showings per listing. This shows, I took a screenshot of the listing on Zillow. It sort of shows how many people saved it and how many people viewed it.
Yeah. You can pull this all out of List Tracker too.
Yeah, you might be.
Easy.
I just know Zillow and took a screenshot.
Yeah.
There might be a better way to do this. I also took a screenshot of like what Zillow recommended this estimate was. Because you can see we're listed at 450. Zillow says it's worth 334. It's priced too high, but she wanted the price high. So anyway, I have those little documents, and I would come into Claude. Oh, here's also a CMA, just did like a quick CMA report on it to see what else is sold. That, I have the showing, so this is like our actual showing report from Broker Bay. Here's the showing insides. Okay, so I built this project. This is a project that's my sole job is just to do listing updates. So
In quad.
in Quad. So every week I would come in, I would take these screenshots. Estimate. So it's the listing. Broker Bay insights. Okay.
I know, mine looks so messy. I can't wait to see how yours.
Give me a weekly update for my seller.
Ryan, you gonna read me?
4617. Houston. Attached is my list of screenshots.
Do you talk to Claude?
Yeah, I do. Although it's so Claude, what I found while this is working.
Yeah.
Like for an example with I wanted to show you this. So with ChatGPT and Claude, I'm going on a trip to Europe this summer. I plan to make an itinerary. ChatGPT kind of like gave me stuff. And then here's what Claude did. Claude made me this 24-page document. Of like, I was like,
2 steps down Main Street and stop at.
and I was like, I don't know how the trains work. Help me find the best restaurants. This is when I was like, holy crap. Like what Claude did was way better than what ChatGPT did. But I'm like, this is just a
It went
little,
deep sea.
it just went,
Well, even if you ask ChatGPT to make your document like this, it won't.
it won't be as good as
It won't
It's
look
not,
as good.
yeah. Did it make it that pretty?
Yes. it's complete.
The chat
doesn't- it
GPT is
doesn't.
very like, have you started doing your
Farmer
marketing
friendly.
updates?
Wow.
What I'm doing is completely different than what we're doing here. Completely different. It's not even apples to apples.
Do we get to learn that in IA?
No, because Jamie's is so much what I'm going like to an nth degree on some of this stuff, and I'm having chat talk to Claude. I'm having the AIs battle it out on who's going to get the best stuff. I don't want us to go down that path with this because that's something that I don't want.
You're extreme.
Baby steps.
I'm extreme. I'm exacting, as I said last week.
but you will unlock and start saving so much time when you start making custom GPTs and projects.
Yes.
It's like you do the front end work one time. It takes a lot of time to make these things. They're kind of annoying to make them. Once you have it, like when I need to go write a 6-7 homes email, it's just I've uploaded. Here's the past 20 emails we've done. Here's information about 6-7 homes. Here's our 6-7 homes persona, and I just say, I'm doing an email this week about the blood drive we have coming up. Invite people to come to that, and also I'm featuring, Clarissa on Coffee and Real Estate podcast episode. Write my email. And it just goes, and it's trained because it has all my examples of my past
In chat and
in
not in
chat.
Claude.
Yeah, but I'm moving a bunch of that over to Claude. So look like
Sneaky.
so Claude is like it's doing all this stuff. It's taking its time. It's working. Now I'll build the report. I just found that Claude works longer and smarter and gives you a better, bigger. It still feels clunkier to me. I still like the way ChatGPT feels.
So are you saying that Quad goes deeper in search or interpretation?
It does deeper in the output it gives you. So for instance, if I say I'm going to France, make me a travel plan for this week, here's my dates. Like the ChatGPT response was like here, and then the Claude response was like,
Okay, because chat will always ask you, well, here are the 3 options you can have. You can win one, I can do this too, and then you'll have to tell it the direction.
Mhm.
So perhaps
But what he's saying is, what Jamie is getting, the point he's getting to here is it's a lot about the setup.
Foundation.
Once you get things set up correctly, each individual part of it, then you can start working in it. It makes more sense because like most people are using AI right now while this is building. I hope it's okay. I talked.
yeah, that was great. It's still like the thing with Claude is it will work for like 5 minutes.
it gives you an option.
Where ChatGPT is like
Yeah.
really fast, which is great. But like Claude, I was just like, I can't believe like how long it works and thinks to make you something that deals with. So I still want to show you the report. It's still working.
So most people are using AI like a Google search, and it is not. And most realtors, we were at that Old Republic thing last week, and they said, how many people are using AI? 80% of people raise their hands. I guarantee you less than 1% of those people are using it like it's supposed to be used. I don't know that we're there yet, because the people that we're watching, and like we were on a kind of conference call 2 weeks ago, the things that those guys are doing is astronomically different than what we're doing. Astronomically different. You okay?
No,
Did you get shocked?
We don't have time for that question, for all.
Correct. But what,
Currently, yes.
but what they're doing and what we're doing is completely different things. And what most people are doing is below where Jamey is teaching us to use it. That's the point of it, is if we can get to this point here where he's using it similarly to what he does, it's going to be smarter, faster, and make us better people, not only people, but agents. But like Misty just has one chat going in ChatGPT, and it's like, here's all my stuff that I'm using medical, and then here's what's going on with the kids, and this and this and this, and that's fine, but this is not a Google search. This is completely different.
Unless she needs it to be a Google search, Brian, and then you let her chat how she wants to chat.
I do not correct my wife. I'm very, very careful.
I remember sitting in a title company and thinking, no way, this is never gonna work. And now I use it more, and I think I'll use it even more. Like, as you learn and you get more comfortable with it, then you're like, okay, I can see how this helps me gives me more time to do the things that I use my superpower.
To use your, so
Let me use my superpower.
and again, think custom GPT is a really specific task. And so if you're into gardening, like if you're like, I'm just into gardening would be a good project. Like I want a project where I come in and I ask gardening questions, and I've trained it. It knows I live in Fort Worth in this neighborhood and I have this kind of soil. It knows how hot it is. And I really like tomatoes and fruit. I make a project for that. So now anytime I'm like thinking about doing cucumbers, or my cucumbers are rotted or aphids are eating, like that's where I would use the project for. But I've used a custom GPT. Still looking for stuff. Let me show you what it makes.
That's a deep one.
So what version of Claude do you think?
Pay for the $20 one. But let me show you this cool thing. So this is the report that it made. So 4617 Houghton is the listing. Showing activity in open houses. It shows and made in the report. Here's
This
all.
looks so much better. Like a kindergarten copy and pasted.
Here's
and
the
cut
open
out some
house
amendments.
recap. 6 people. I just told it we had open house. Here's who came. I just told it who came. I didn't type anything. Here's the good, the
Oh,
constructive.
so you read it, the report.
Wow.
Here's your showing versus the market.
And
So we
it
had-
found those, oh no, you put.
I put those
showing
screenshots in
reports
there, remember?
Yeah.
How your price range compares.
I like that.
Can you just send me the template?
Detailed agent feedback.
You're gonna do it in Claude GPT.
Zillow performance. It has my Zillow performance in there. Is this good? About this estimate. Current estimate says 334. You're at 450. You're way below.
Hey, the data's the data.
Market
Right, and it
conditions.
doesn't lie.
So remember, I took a CMA report and I threw it in there, and now it's saying, here's the market conditions. This makes me look like a hero. It's like a custom PDF.
So would you recommend that if you are mid-listing and
Yes.
you're doing the kindergarten version, should
You
you
can-
now
you can
take
just-
your kindergarten version and upload it in and make it look
And
like
now you
that?
have graduated high school.
I worked all weekend on doing,
Like-
simplifying the report
But-
for you.
But check this out, like this synthesized the bottom line. Showing traffic is above average, every visitor is impressed by the home. 'Cause remember, I copied in my feedback from Broker Bay. Just took a screenshot of Broker Bay. It says location is the main objection. We have one warm lead. Pricing hold for now.
You know what's so crazy is I don't have a single client that.
Even if they don't read
If
it,
they don't,
They just
you
immediately got it.
you still look like a hero.
Right.
You look like you know your shit.
they might pick and choose what information from it to look at. And
Yeah.
then, again, your you're doing your job.
Right.
Okay, see, so look, Claude finally finished. It just works autonomously for like 10 minutes. And then here's where it is. You can see it right here. So then if I like don't like anything, I don't like any format,
You
like,
just delete it.
so I,
You can tell that you edit it. and it will-
yeah, so I would be like, hey,
Doc.
can you change this? I forgot to tell you this one thing. You can edit it. It'll edit it. And I just
My
download
VA.
this. So here's the other thing I did with
My
this
assistant.
is I would say, great, now help me write
You know, you
an
know.
email to Evie explaining this. And once it took me maybe like 45 minutes to an hour.
Or is this like, okay,
I'm like, I do this every Wednesday. I just have us down for Wednesday for 2 hours. We may need 3 and
we may need 6.
We may need
But think of like, what are the things I do over and over and over, make
Yeah.
it kind of tedious. Put in the work and make a project or a custom GPT. Then it's easy. Then you like,
And I have to- we gotta-
all right, so I know we're way over time. I'm way over time. Does anybody online have questions?
This is good, actually.
Anybody else have any questions? Like, I know I just gave you some more
All you
complicated.
did 2 weeks
Brain
ago was
dump.
tell me to talk to it. And now I'm like, I can't wait to go back and do it.
So look, she wrote this email, hey, I want to see a little update, blah, 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 blah. And now, of course, I'm
And
gonna,
it's a summary. It's just a
Yeah.
summary. of
That's the summary of
Yeah,
the-
there you go.
But you know your client's not gonna read, and you just say, if you want to dig deeper into this, it's all attached on this report.
As always, I still recommend a price adjustment.
but here's an example, like, here's Jamey's health lab, where I've taken my last couple of doctor visit labs and I put it in here. So anytime I'm like, I want you to act like a functional medicine doctor, and I just come into this project and I ask it questions and it already kind of knows me
In Claude.
in Claude. Here's my 6th Avenue Homes social media writer. Here's my 6th Avenue Homes email copywriter.
Okay.
This is kind of cool.
Oh.
We just did. So I met, Todd also does graphic design stuff. Y'all still, you want me to keep showing you
Yeah.
stuff? Or y'all?
Like,
I'm
8
good.
minutes.
I'm
8 minutes.
Okay.
Not 10, not 7, 8.
Let me just, I'm gonna take a random,
Your copy paste.
here's just a social.
The only angst I have over this is the amount of windows you have open. I'm
That's
ready.
nothing.
I'm looking at yours too, and
I'm honestly, you want to see something worse?
I have serious.
No, hold on, hold on.
You have Safari and,
And Chrome.
yeah, you're insane.
Okay, so this is a Claude project I built. It's a social media carousel card generator.
Yeah.
I mean,
What is that?
So,
Social.
so basically I took in my branding and my colors and my fonts. I said, these are like my colors and my fonts. You can do 6th Avenue, whatever. And I said, I want to be able to take a social media post and then you make 3 to 4 or 5 graphics that go with that post. Like kind of, like the text style, kind of, you've seen this.
Yeah,
You
like
know
a
what we have.
meme or.
Yeah, so it's like somebody has like a scrolling picture and it's like,
You
three
see it
things you
on-
should do in real estate this
Right,
week.
Kristen.
You swipe and it's like, update your card.
Okay, while that's generating, I just kind of want to like dial everything in to kind of condense it so my brain is working. So basically for ChatGPT to keep it separate, you are using that for more like projects, kind of simplify things, and you're almost using that for like the prompt to put into Claude, or is
I would say you choose one or the other. Like choose chat or choose Claude. Maybe play with both. You don't need both.
Okay.
I use chat exclusively for the past year and a half, and I would occasionally use Claude because I like the writing better with Claude. But recently, I was so impressed with Claude. As of like 2 weeks ago, I started switching and doing everything with Claude, and now I'm trying to make Claude the main one I'm using.
okay,
So-
perfect. And for one more thing before you get into that, so like when we're creating these projects and doing like all the things that you have going on for yourself right now, is there a way that like we can have like a second maybe session as far as like you helping us with exact prompts to like get us to that point, or do you feel like that would be more of a personalized thing for us to do for ourselves?
I think you're gonna have so two goals of that. One, absolutely down to help y'all. If y'all want to do a session like next week on the calendar where we come in here and we all just have our laptops open and like work on building some of these, happy to do that. I think the thing is like, once you get over and start playing with it and get over the hurdle, like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to do it yourself because you're gonna start thinking of things and like, you're gonna need to know how to do it and build them in your life. It's way easier. But I'm happy to do like a session maybe after the meeting next week. What do we have after the meeting next week?
You
Like
can
I
do
just
your-
want to copy everything that you have. Like, like I'm just like I kind of want to, especially with the listing thing, that is like super valuable. So I'm like, even if there's a way for you just to like give us a little something for that listing, like that would be pretty baller.
Yeah, we can. So let's plan on next week after the meeting doing a little. So your homework is twofold. One, I want you to make a persona doc. If you haven't done that, only make a persona doc. The second thing is think of some things that you do over and over and over again, and let's try to build some of those.
So with the persona doc, I think I wasn't here that 1 week, of course. Was there a prompt somewhere?
I would just, the prompt, I'll send you the prompt, but the prompt is like, I want to make an AI persona doc that I can upload into custom GPTs and projects where ChatGPT will know me. I want you to interview me and ask me questions about my family, my life, my history, my beliefs, my values, my superpowers, how I work, what I do with clients. And then just interview me one question at a time. I'm going to dictate the response, and then I'm just going to copy and paste into Google Doc as we go.
Is this something, if we did like a working session like that, where we're all here with our laptops and we're all trying to talk to Claude or ChatGPT at the same time, is that going to be?
I think it'll be,
Like we could like move, like go do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's, I'm going to share this with y'all, and I'll put the whole thing in the Slack. Where's I have a custom GPT build that I can give you a link that you can use to write instructions for custom GPTs. That'll be great.
Actually, you're gonna ask GPT to help me. What are the questions? So it's just a couple of hours of getting ready so that when we come here for our working session, that we're not going backwards.
Yeah, you can also even say, I've never built a custom GPT. Walk me through how to build a custom GPT. Again, I use AI to build AI stuff. I'm always saying like, but you see like how it made this cool graphics? So I made a GPT that I just can throw in a Facebook post that'll make these little graphics.
So cute.
I haven't really used them, but I thought.
You know what would be helpful, Jamie? I want to say
One more thing.
Just one more thing. Well, no, I mean, just the sequencing of your questions, the prompts that you created, maybe you create it in a doc and just dump it and it's like, here's what you can, because we can then read it.
Yeah, I would just say like, I don't really have, my prompts are just me
Exactly.
talking to it like a 3-year-old, but I've learned the more I say, the better. So just
Well, it's
random.
okay.
I want it to be good. I want it to, like, and I always say, make it better. It's kind of like my cool. Did I overwhelm everybody?
No, it's perfect. I love it.
Thank you, Jamie. Can we thank Jamie?
I think the
So,
more you talk about it, the more you get comfortable.
well, and that's what we're going to be talking about up until for the next 7 weeks, 8 weeks. We're going to be talking just about mainly AI and how that is going to affect our lives.
Just think, you're going to be robotic by the time you're done.
So,
Absolutely.
Um, next week, we've got, Jamie's gonna do culture index, so we hope everybody will join us for that. Come in the office, we'll have your culture index. We're gonna print them out for them, I can print them out. That way they can take them with them.
I'm gonna
So-
give it to you.
So Jamie will be doing culture index next week. We have Highland Homes at 9:45. Please come for breakfast. You know, they always bring really, really good breakfast, not as good as that out there, but anyway, thank you guys, and we're gonna stop the recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna, do I get my own?
Oh,